My name is Brian Toutant. I am a client as well as a friend of Tom Waite. For a living, I'm a construction pipe fitter. That's what I do for work. I met Tom going on 13 years ago now. I met him down at the Journal Sentinel Sports Show. At that time, I had a young lab that I knew I wanted to have some training work done on. And I wasn't quite sure. I went and met with a couple different trainers, a couple different people who work with labs, and I eventually settled on Tom because I just felt when I talked to him off the get-go that his knowledge and the direction that he wanted to go with the dog, he was very certain of where he wanted to end up. And I really liked that. And I liked the fact that he was hands-on with me as well as the dog. A lot of trainers don't like to be hands-on with you. They just want to be hands-on with the dog. And I feel that's real important because I own the dog, Tom's training the dog, and I'm going to have to spend years with this dog, and I want to know everything I can about handling and hunting with and just working with the dog and keeping the dog right after we go through the training process. So I had the lab train, and that took about, it was about 6 weeks for the full training regimen. The dog was just under a year old at that time, and when he came out of Tom's kennel after being trained, the dog was, he, in my opinion, was far more than what I ever expected as far as a hunting dog. The dog could run blinds, he could handle, he would retrieve the hand, and from what I've done in the past hunting, that was far more than anything I've ever experienced. So I was really happy with the level of training the dog had. And as far as working with me, Tom really took the time to teach me about how to handle the dog, because I'd never handled a dog as far as hand signals and everything like that, making the dog work for me, and he did a great job teaching me on how to do that with the dog. And I had spent some time with Tom working and training and just doing field work, basic field work with the dogs, and I really took a liking to those animals, just the way the dogs hunted, the way the dogs handled, the way the dogs would progress in their training from what I saw. And eventually I did wind up buying a pointing dog, a starter dog from his kennel. And again, we took time, and Tom, through the training process, taught me everything that I needed to know about handling and working and training these dogs, and I just didn't felt, going back to the lab, I didn't feel that the other trainers I had talked to would take the time to do that. So that was what really, really piqued my interest about coming to this kennel, Dale Creek Gundogs. Yeah, I have had a lot of success as a result of working with Tom as a trainer. From Derby dogs. Derby is a dog that's between the ages of 1 and 2 years old, and also as a shooting dog. I've had, all my dogs have placed, either won or placed in the trials that we've competed in. We've gone from anywhere from northern Wisconsin to southern Wisconsin to Minnesota to Michigan to Illinois. We've had success in more than just one state, more than just one club, more than just one trial. And I owe a lot to Tom and the time he's taken to work with me as a trainer and a handler to get those dogs to the level they are today. Tom's got a place in south central North Dakota, and we make a fall trip for 9 days every year of training. It's a pointing dog training run that we do before the fall trial championship season. So we go out and we get dogs conditioned, we get them ready, we get them on wild birds, we get a lot of wild bird work. Take a lot of young dogs out that need the experience on the wild birds to make them competitive on the field trial circuit. So Tom, one thing Tom's always told me is that bird dogs aren't made with a handful of birds. Bird dogs are made with hundreds, if not thousands, of birds. And at first it seems a little crazy to think that a dog needs thousands of birds to become a bird dog, but the longer I've been in this, the more I believe that's true. And they don't need just liberated birds like we use on the training field, they need wild birds as well. So the trip to North Dakota is extremely important for especially a young dog in its development, to get them the exposure that they need to the wild birds, because wild birds, if a dog can point a wild bird, you got something to work with. So And a lot of dogs fail out there. You know, a lot of dogs don't make it on wild birds out west. So you can really kind of gauge what you have when you get back from your trip out there, what you got to work with. Yeah, that's interesting. Tom's got a philosophy that a dog can make it as a hunting dog as well as a field trial dog by one simple principle. If the dog is honest, a well-trained, honest dog can do both. Doesn't matter if you're hunting or if you're field trialing. What I mean by honest, if you take a pointing dog should be broke, and what that means is it should be steady wing to shot. Dog should point, handler can go in, flush a bird, should be able to shoot it, and then send the dog in for a retrieve. Although we don't retrieve birds field trialing, we still need the complete package of a dog being broke. And it's just kind of the creme de la creme when you have a dog that retrieves as well. And then when you're out hunting, all the time you spend training a dog for field trialing, it's only the kind of the icing on the cake when you have a dog that you can take, you know, hunting that can complete the whole package. And it's really a pleasurable hunt. And not only in the prairies out west, I mean, we're talking in the woods of northern Wisconsin as well. You know, pointing grouse is something that few dogs can actually do, but to get a dog that you can hunt with in the woods and field trial, you really have something special, because not a lot of dogs are capable of making that transition between the two.